What was the worst century to be alive? Well, the 20th century has to be up there, right? I mean, 2 world wars, Spanish flu, civil wars, unrest, revolutions, millions of people lost their lives. But today's video is focusing on the 14th century, and a time that has come to be known as the crisis of the late Middle Ages. And crisis is an understatement. But this video mainly focuses on the time in Western Europe. But the first crisis to strike was in 1315, and in the spring of that year there was some horrendously bad weather. And disease spread amongst farm animals, causing cattle and sheep populations to drop by around 80%. This led to one of the worst famines in European history, and from 1315 to 1317 millions lost their lives. A massive increase in crime and a breakdown of social order also occurred. It got so bad that the King of England, when visiting St. Albans, was unable to get any bread for himself or his entourage. When the king starts going hungry, that's when you know things are bad. It's estimated that around 10 to 15% of the south of England perished, as well as around 10% of those living in the north of France. But things would slowly improve into the 1320s and 1340s, until they got bad again. Because in 1347, the Black Death, the Great Plague, struck Europe. It killed an estimated 75 to 200 million people worldwide, and around anywhere from 40 to 60% of the European population. 40% of England passed away, and a similar number in France. A complete breakdown of civil society occurred, with complete anarchy running amok. During the Great Famine, for example, the life expectancy of the nobility dropped anywhere from sort of 5 to 10 years, and during the Great Plague, about as much as 20. It was a time of unbelievable fear, and things got so bad that the Pope had to bless a river so that bodies could be deposited there. And an interesting anecdote from this time is the Black Death actually struck France a year before it hit England, and France and England were fighting a war at the time. And English, they were pretty cocky, they were mocking France, thinking it was divine retribution. It was a year later that the Black Death came to England, and they stopped laughing. But to live in the 14th century, if you managed to survive, was an unbelievably terrifying and tumultuous time. I hope you enjoyed.